WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today is the fourth and the final in the series here of the Spirits Animal from Old Particular / Douglas Laing, together with BSC, a German importer of whiskeys over here. I talked about the Glenrothes, a little bit of an artificial sherry moment for me. The Coila is the best Coila whiskey I've ever had, an interesting sherry finish. The Port Dundas, just because it's a silent distillery does not mean it's better. A little bit too old of casks in that single grain. And now we have the king of the series, the most expensive bottle, Bowmore. The Boar. Makes sense, right? So we have here an 18-year-old. So DL14675 is the barrel number. We have a price of between 250 and 280 euros at the moment for this. And we have a whiskey base number here of 197755. So this was distilled in September of 2002. It was bottled in April of 2021. Took a while to get over to Germany. And we have a total of 267 bottles. So I guess there's another batch someplace else in the world here, because from a butt you get many more than just 267 bottles. 52.4% ABV, and it's a sherry butt finish. What type of sherry? We don't know. All right, very, very nice here. That's all the information that I have at the moment. That's the way that things are. Now, the nose is surprisingly good. Now, there are two types of peated whiskeys that I'm not particularly a fan of, almost always. The first one is Legic. So for Tobermory, the peated variant, it's just for me very farm, cow stable type of thing, yucky. And the second one I don't actually like very often is Bowmore. Sorry. Now Bowmore is a very earthy type of peated moment. Now here, together with the sherry, it's very, very well integrated. It's very interesting. It's very well done. So I'm going to compare this, what I always do, almost always do, is I'm going to compare this to something here. So ding, ding, ding. If you look at the bottle here, this is a very unique bottle because it is a secret Islay. Due to the information I've received here from Uncharted Whiskies, I basically am sure that it is Bowmore, and it's a 30-year-old whiskey, distilled 1990, bottled 2021, and it's Rumors Chapter 1. If you want to look it up, it's 51.3%, whiskey base 189257. And also from the color here, you just notice that it's a totally different beast. So very bright, very dark, okay? So now, but still, I thought it would be interesting for me to compare a 30-year-old Bowmore with an 18-year-old Bowmore. Now, it's cask strength. I could have pulled out the 18-year-old Bowmore down below here. Sorry, knocked something over. But I decided to go with this instead. This is 379 euros. This is 250, 280 euros. All right, on the nose, it's softer. It's more elegant. What else would you expect here? Now, I don't know about you, but very, very few whiskey tubers I've heard so far have talked about something called acidity. Now, if you go to wine, acidity is a very important factor. Now, according to my research, there are at least 3 different types of acids that are affecting or influence the way how a wine tastes. Why am I talking about that? Give me a second. When I try this, it's very acidic. So we have citrus acid. All right, citrus acid is used a lot in nature, in a fruit. It has that very, that lemon peel moment. That's for me the citrus acid. So then we also have the tartaric acid. In German, it's called the wine acid, which I thought was very, very interesting. It's most notable in grapes, but bananas, citrus have them as well. And it naturally develops in the process of fermentation. So when I make Christmas cookies, I have something called tartar. And I think tartar has tartaric acid in it. Haha. All right, so it's very, very interesting. It's a little bit different there. And the last thing we have, which we call the apple acid in German. German is great. For example, we don't have a dentist, we have a tooth doctor. And we don't have a, for example, a pediatrics for babies. We actually have a baby doctor. And so Germans just build words together, all right? So think of railroad. It's a road of rails. German, we call it Eisenbahn, so we call it a iron road. So, and we just build those, all right? We have the iron road train or whatever. So, and this, the apple acid is called malic acid. All right, and it has that sour taste of fruits, and it's often used as a food additive. Now, there are many, many different types of acid out there besides this. I'm going to try this, and what I do not get is I do not get a lot of tannins. That is a little bit different. That's the tartness of the wood, and I do not get citrus acid. But I do get malic acid, and I do also get the tartaric acid here a lot. Now, I've never heard people in the whiskey world talking about different types of acids. Or acidity, but this definitely has it for me, and I was just fascinated that I was able to learn a little bit about that. This doesn't. This is much sweeter. Now, if I were to analyze my own taste profile, I am not a fan of acidic whiskeys. I am not a fan of bitter whiskeys. I'm a fan of creamy and sweet whiskeys. All right. Maybe that's why I like bourbon and Irish whiskey more than I do many of the Scotch, and much more than I do of the peated whiskeys here. Now, I could ask my friend, Dr. Heinz Weinberger, he has a PhD in chemistry. Where does the acid come from in our different whiskeys? And are there literally different types of acids in here? And what are they? I think I'm going to do that. We're going to have a new whiskey live stream, our number 4th, whiskey and chemistry. We've done 3 already. I've learned so much through him. And I'm sorry, it's only in German for all my English-speaking friends out there. But try to find someone who's a chemist and allow them to explain to you whiskey and chemistry. I actually have a book that's like 400 pages. It's called Whiskey and Chemistry. I'm trying to bite my way through it. It's so interesting and so complicated, and there's so many equations, and it's just one of those things like, I don't want to just taste whiskey. I want to understand it, but that's almost too much. All right. So going back here to our whiskey. Now on the nose, there's that nice, I almost said beautiful, but nice earthy peated note together with that sherry moment combined. It's on the nose. This is, as I said, this is actually a B minus. Cheers. But on the palate, I get this acidity. It might just be me, might just be my form of the day, how I feel, how I am. But it's not just a tartness, it's not astringency, it's not the wood, it's acidity. And for me, it's very that tartaric acid and that malic acid together, which makes this something that I do not prefer. Now, there's probably a lot of, I'm going to say 2/3 of the people out there that might not be at all fazed by that, what I'm tasting, and go, this is fantastic. This is one of the best Bowmores I've ever had. And it does have a fullness, a completeness, a complementary. We have the wood a little bit. You have that earthy, peaty moment. You have the sherry. It's all harmonious. But on top of that, it's like for me, it's like a acid frosting on it. It's not a sweet frosting. It's an acidic frosting on it, which just takes away and deteriorates that feel there. It's constant. It doesn't go up and down. There's not that many transitions there. But for 250 some euros, this is for me a clear pass. C minus in taste, B minus on the nose. All right, just real quick, my 30-year-old as a comparison. Much sweeter, much less of the no sherry. A little bit more of the wood, more astringency, more of the citrus moment, but not too much. That's good. That's different. That's good. All right. So, value for money, I'm sorry. I'm just not worthy. I'm just not willing to pay 250 euros for an 18-year-old Bowmore. Sorry. The normal Bowmore 18 over here in Germany at the moment, Bowmore 18, I can get for 48 euros. Is that right? So let's see here. The normal 18-year-old Bowmore. Okay, it's 70 euros with 43%, but I actually have a sale here. Oh no, it was the Bowmore 18 Aston Martin for 50 euros over here. So the normal price for 18-year-old is somewhere between 75 and 80 euros. So I can almost get 3 of the normal 18s for one of these. Now it is only 43%. Now this is our 53, if I remember correctly, 52.4%. All right, the official tasting note says here, the Boar Bowmore aged 18 years, single malt Scotch whiskey. What would fit better to the powerful taste of Islay rather than just a strong boar? Sweet, peat, salty sea air. Give each other the hand, and on the palate they are supplemented by salty caramel, peated malt, and steamed fruits. The finish is long with very much smoke, and there's a fruity note that plays around that complements each other. I just translated from German to English. Sorry for that. A little bit of a not that great translation there. All right, very, very good. Well, thank you very much for watching this series. Rare and exotic whiskeys, only German exclusive, single casks here from Germany. I hope it was still of pleasure to you. I learned something about acidity. I learned something about Koile. I remember that Port Dundas is a closed distillery. Not everything is good about that. And Glenrothes, I found out that that was called a I said it was finished. I put money on it was a finished, the Glenrothes. If I can hold this up here. Wrong, of course, I picked up the wrong one immediately. This was apparently a full maturation. If you look at the color here, it's hard to believe that was done that way. But hey, why not? Glenrothes, I still got the orange peel, even though everything else was so manipulated by that sherry cask. All right, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for liking, subscribing, and telling others. All the best, and see you soon. Whiskey Jason. Bye-bye.